Wasn't it amazing yesterday? I expect lots of us witnessed on television the coronation of King Charles III. The first coronation for 70 years, the first coronation in my lifetime, and I suspect quite a lot of people's lifetime. Perhaps there'll be another, as long as I live. King Charles is 12 years older than me, so there's a good chance that William will come to the throne while I'm still around. But there's already speculation as to whether his coronation will be the same as the one we witnessed yesterday. And the service at Westminster Abbey yesterday was about an hour shorter than the service in 1953. There were a number of differences, but there were also the essential elements, not least the music, When I Am Glad, and that spine-tingling moment of Zadok the priest as the Archbishop anointed the king. The whole theatre of yesterday was quite remarkable. There'd been some changes within the Abbey that made it a lot easier for people to move around and not to have to negotiate lots of steps. The platform was on a level, so there was no feeling of anyone feeling higher than anybody else. And it was very obvious that there'd been many, I think I'm going to go a third many hours of putting the service together, of arranging who would be doing what, mindful of those who would traditionally have had a role, but also including people for the first time. And I do think there was a real sense of exclusivity. There were also 3 women bishops involved, which is quite something. There have been rehearsals, as I say, over the last few weeks. Apparently, sometime the bishop assistants had rehearsed with the king and queen in the palace, and then over the last few days, there have been rehearsals in the abbey. We've also been aware of the huge military gathering, again with lots of rehearsals. There were about 500 RAF personnel up at Halton who were taken down into London for some of the nighttime rehearsals. And then I spotted pictures yesterday morning, very early on, of them being taken on the train from Tring to go down to the ceremony. I was certainly quite blown away by the images of all the armed forces who'd been part of the coronation procession, then gathered on the lawn of Buckingham Palace, and the King and Queen going out to thank them, with the troops singing the national anthem and giving 3 cheers for their majesties. We've got friends in America who've also spent time over here. And I got a message yesterday lunchtime from Kathy who said, "No one does pomp and pageantry like the British." I don't know about you, but I was quite glad that I was sitting on the settee in Dobbins Lane rather than standing on the Mall or in one of the parks trying to see what was going on, given the rain. But it was wonderful. On your order of service, you'll see the emblem that says the Church of England used that says celebrating community, faith and service. The liturgy for the coronation was set within a service of Holy Communion, similar to ours today, but using the words from the Book of Common Prayer. And much of the ritual and semblance are deeply Christian and significant. When the liturgy was released last Saturday, it said it had the theme of called to serve. And the Archbishop began his sermon yesterday by saying, "We are here to crown a king, and we crown a king to serve." He also spoke about the kingdom that Jesus brings, the one that doesn't grasp power or hold on to status. He said, the King of Kings, Jesus Christ, was anointed not to be served, but to serve. He creates the unchangeable law of good authority, that with the privilege of power comes the duty to serve. And he spoke about service as being love in action, that we can see all around us. The Archbishop acknowledged that the priorities of King Charles and Queen Camilla are there in the kingly priorities as they live a duty lived out by God himself. In King Charles and Queen Camilla, we do see privilege, but we also see a deep desire to serve and to thank those who serve in many, many different ways. And serving is the task that all of us are given in following Christ. The most sacred part of yesterday's service was when the screens were placed around the King, who was in just a simple shirt, as he was anointed on his head, his hands, and his breast by the Archbishop. Before that, the beautiful hymn, Cum Veni Sanctus Spiritus, had been sung, a calling of the Holy Spirit to come upon the one who is anointed. When we are baptized and confirmed, we are anointed. We are marked out as one who is declaring that we want to serve as Jesus came to serve us, and the Holy Spirit draws us to love in action. Archbishop Justin reminded us that Jesus is the one whose throne was a cross. His crown was made of thorns, his regalia were the wounds that pierced his body. Jesus gave his life for us, and so each of us are called by God, the Lord who is the everlasting God, the creators of the ends of the earth, to serve. In our reading from Matthew's Gospel that we've just heard, we hear the Great Commission that we are all called to go and to make new disciples in the authority given to Jesus. He is with us always as we go out and serve in his name. He is with King Charles and Queen Camilla as they serve this nation and the Commonwealth with the help of God. Amen. I want to say thank you to our musicians, lots of them today, which is wonderful, and also to those who've done flowers. We have a crown, which is wonderful, and more in the porch as well. So thank you for that. Please do stay. We have lots of fizz. We also have coffee, so do stay and enjoy that. If you don't know what else to do today, between 1 and 4, there's a parish council gathered the community together for a picnic on the Witchell. So if it's stopped doing any dampness, then we can all enjoy that. Tomorrow, fingers crossed, we're planning to do a tidy up of the churchyard. We've been encouraged on the big help out day of this weekend, so we'll see what the weather does for that. Oh, another group of people I want to thank are the bell ringers. If you are coming into church, the final piece that they rang was apparently to the Coronation method, I am told. And last Tuesday, this Tuesday coming, and the next two after that, if you're around at 7 o'clock, you can hear a quarter peal. They're doing 4 in a row to celebrate the coronation. So again, for those who are bell ringers that are still in church, thank you, and to those who aren't. Next Sunday, we have 9 o'clock and 10:30. It's the beginning of Christian Aid Week, and I know some people have taken envelopes to be distributed from next weekend. Have you still got some with you, Jeanette? Right. So Jeanette will be at the back, hovering, I'm sure, trying to catch people. They only have to be delivered. They don't have to be collected, because what we then do is encourage people to take them into the Just Shop, and it's all collected there. So David Blackmore will be preaching for us as we think about Christian Aid Week. The following week is the last of the 10 o'clocks. Sorry if we're confusing people. It's our APCM, Annual Parochial Church Meeting, when we elect church wardens, PCC members, deanery, synod people. it's all on the update, and I'm going to make sure that everything gets onto the website this week as well. So please be praying for that meeting, which is quite important. So a 10 o'clock meeting, a 10 o'clock service, as we all to come together for that meeting. On Saturday, there is a concert here. It's a different group of musicians than we've had before. Lots of cellists and people who are singing as well. There's a poster on the back. There's information on the update. You have to get tickets through a website, so you won't be able to buy them in the Just Shop. But please do come along and support them.